What is up, everybody? So I'm sitting outside my co-working spot here, and I had an insight that I really wanted to get into a video because this is something that I'm consistently seeing with everyone I'm talking to. Is there's a couple concepts that people don't have clear, and it's holding you back in many ways, many ways. Again, a lot of it is subconscious, but you'll become consciously aware of it in watching this video. So the first concept I want to talk about is it's called a stop pattern or a stop program. And I'll give you a clear example that will resonate with your life. One would be, okay, you set your alarm for the morning. So you're about to go to bed, you set your alarm for the next morning. You set the alarm, right, it goes off, you wake up, and then you contemplate whether or not you're gonna get out of bed, right? So it's like you make a decision, you say, this is how I'm gonna be, but then the moment happens where then you give yourself a choice. And that sets up your whole day for either success or failure. So a stop pattern is where you technically what you're doing is you're giving your word that you're going to do something. You say you're going to do it and then you don't do it. Or you say you're going to go to an event, or you're going to go, hang out with your friend, or whatever it is. You're going to go to the gym, then you don't do it. If that is happening in your life, it's a clear indicator you have what's called a stop pattern or a stop program. And here's the downside of that. It screws up everything. It screws up everything in your life, because then you wonder why you say, oh, I'm going to have this goal of I want to make, $1 million this year. I want to, I'm going to find my dream partner this year. I'm going to finally have that breakthrough with my wife, whatever. But you don't actually believe yourself. You don't actually believe yourself. It's a very deep pattern we all have, because no one, like when we were a kid, nobody really taught us to honor our word. You might have heard it from your, parents, grandparents, whatever. That idea of honoring your word, but it's actually so much more important than just like being a good person. Your word is literally your creative power. You are literally creating the world through your words you use. But those words are either going to be something that have integrity, like you say, hey, I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. and then you actually get out of bed at 4 a.m. and you go do the thing. Or you say, I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. and you don't, and then you break your trust in yourself. So that's a stop pattern, and they're everywhere in your life. If you want a list of all the areas and you want a really cool exercise for how to start to see where are you being in integrity, like where are you 10 out of 10 really solid, and where are you not solid, if you want to exercise for that, just message me and I'll share with you what I have seen work really well. And so that's stop patterns. Again, I could go for hours on that, but I at least wanted to get that in video. The other one though is it's called counter intention, and it's intertwined. So intention, right? We always hear about, have your clear intention, having good intentions. You might even hear having bad intentions, right? You might have conflicting intentions within you, like, hey, I want to be healthy, but you also like want to eat a bunch of donuts. So there's all these different ways we can look at intention, but the main one I want to get across is counter intention. And it comes from two things. One is counter intention is within yourself. So when you say, again, I want to make a lot more money. I want to actually have a breakthrough in terms of how much income I can make every month. Or I want to start that side hustle that I've been thinking about. And it's like you have that intention, but what you're not aware of is that you have so much stuff underneath the surface that is resonating as a counter intention. So that's internal counter intention, and I'll go more in depth in a moment into that. Then you have counter intention from what's around you. If you've heard the phrase, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, it is so true, because you might tell your friends, oh guys, I'm going to start that business, or, oh guys, I'm going to get in shape now. But you have 5 friends around you or people around you that you spend the most time with, or you listen to their opinion, right? They may not even be friends of yours, but you listen to their opinion, and they have counter intention. The thing is, other people around you, their thoughts, their beliefs, their intentions do have an effect on you. Whether you like it or not, it's how the world works. We're all literally interconnected. Now, if someone's sitting there thinking super negative about you, you can choose to accept it or not. But I'm letting you know, if you don't have a good group of people around you who are rooting for you and cheering for you and going to push you to higher levels, it's going to have an influence on you. So a really cool exercise you could do for this is writing out who are the 5 people you think you spend the most time around. Just put it in a note, or write it down on a piece of paper, who you think it is. But then this week, I want you to audit that And look, brutally, honestly, who do you actually spend the most time with? And where are they headed? Do they have the life you want to have? Are they going to that, goal that you have? This is why I'm very selective with who I spend my time with. And a lot of my time is spent with people that I work with. And then, of course, I have my wife and my 2 sons. And I don't actually spend that much time around them in this season of my life. Like, it's Saturday today, this evening, I'm going to spend a lot of time with them. But, and obviously I chat with my wife every day, multiple times a day. But it's like, you got to have that inner circle, so to speak, or at least a sphere of influence around you that is able to have, let's say, a positive intent. I'm going to keep this super basic for this video. That they have a positive intention for themselves and for you. And don't have negative intentions. And a lot of the time it's subconscious stuff that will hold you back on. For example, right? You start really going ham, going to the gym, getting in shape, right? But let's say you got your old drinking buddies and they're always talking shit, right? And you decide, every Sunday we're going to watch football together, right? For those of you in America, right? Watch football on Sundays. And they're always talking shit. Or you're telling them about a new business that you're doing or you're thinking up. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, here's another one, right? Could even be your spouse. Again, I'm not saying now go make some rash decision about how much time you're going to spend with your significant others or those people around you. But I am going to encourage you to really start to look at it because you get one life. You have one life here. You get to decide, are you going to actually live the best life? Are you going to live your life in alignment with creating the best reality for yourself and for everyone? And if so, are you hanging out with the right people? Or is there counter intention from them and from yourself? Because here's the real kicker. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but that has been the case since you've been born. So when you're a kid and when you're growing up and when you're learning about the world and you're getting your worldview straight downloaded to you from those around you, that's within you whether you like it or not. So a lot of this counter intention has been imprinted into you. It's implanted. And so that's why you'll start to have a breakthrough in your life and then you'll sabotage yourself. And you'll start to get really excited and pumped up and everything, but then you'll hit a glass ceiling and you'll revert back to old behaviors. Or you'll start to really see what you see as progress. And you might actually be getting genuine progress, but you'll revert back to your old way of being because that counter intention is literally held inside you at a cellular level. It's in your memories. It's not just in your conscious, it's called your prefrontal cortex, right? That's your logical decision-making part of your brain. Your real counter intention doesn't come from that part of your brain. It's more that emotional part of your brain. It's called limbic resonance. Look it up. It's really fascinating. And it comes from within you, but also people around you, and you trigger it in other people. There's empathic circuits. There's so much stuff I can share with you on how this works if you're really interested. And then you have your they call it your reptilian brain. It's your brain stem. This is the fight or flight survival part of you. All of that got programmed when you were a little kid, and it wasn't programmed in the most helpful way. Now, again, the good news is you can go through a journey. It's a multi-month, multi-year journey to reprogram all that. So every last little part of you, every last fiber of your body and your being is working in alignment with the best version of you. And I'm 5 years into this. I mean, I've been studying psychology, since I was around 16. I first found my books in it. So, I've been doing this for 14, 15 years. Wow, I'm dating myself. But it's like, I've been at this for a while. I've learned a thing or two. And I'm putting this in a video in these terms you can understand. So you can start to label it, right? So there's the counter intention. And if you want help with that, just message me. Because I guarantee you, if you're not happy with your life, if you're not happy with the money you're making, the bank account you have, your prospects for a thriving career and life, if you're not happy with your relationships, if you fight with your spouse, if you don't have a girlfriend, whatever it is, that's actually showing you what you're resonating, what you're creating. So you could have the best intentions in the world, but you're not going to manifest your intentions. You're going to manifest a conglomeration of your intent and your counter intent and the other people around you's counter intentions. So it's way more dynamic than people think it is. So you got that, and then you also got the stop patterns in your life. And again, if you have the stop patterns in your life and you're struggling with that, just hit me up. Like, send me a message. Don't be shy. I'm happy to help people with this who are actually serious. If you're just looking for a free handout or you're just looking for a magical pill, don't waste my time. But if you genuinely are like, hey, I see your videos, like something's telling me to reach out, just message me. I will share the coolest stuff with you. Just please be teachable and actually take it seriously, right? So have an awesome day, but even more importantly than having an awesome day, have an insightful day and look into yourself. Get that insight. And then if you want to connect further, hit me up.